Hey guys, so obviously it's just me. I'm going to talk about this week of The Amazing Race. So when everyone departed, there was like half the people were on one flight, the first flight, and the other half were on the second flight, and they were like about 15 minutes behind. So that gave some people an advantage, I guess. It didn't play into it too much, but like it definitely potentially could have. They had to start off by driving stick. I might be disappointing a lot of people, but no, I cannot drive stick. I've never learned. I've been to Europe. I was like 14, so I didn't even have a regular license. No, that would have been really hard for me. Most of the teams were not that bad with it. I mean, it's not like they were driving like pros while they were driving stick, but like they were able to do it. Will and James struggled. That really actually was like the only thing that held them up. They all got it together after that. And they had to drive to like a museum, like an art museum, and they had to find people that were dressed up as some of the people that were in the paintings, and like bring them to someone and like see if that was them. And most people did pretty well. Aishwarya and Aparna struggled. Well, it was Aparna. She was the one that was doing that roadblock, and I think it was like 16 or 18 tries, and then she finally got it. And then I don't know, like, would it be that hard? I don't know, because for everybody else, like Michelle and Victoria like flew through it. D'Angelo and Gary flew through it. Apparently Gary's a big art fan, so that even surprised D'Angelo. But yeah, that was cute. But they were good at it. Like Riley and Madison were good at everything this episode. After they found the person in the museum that was the right person from the picture, then they got to move on, and they got to go to like, I guess like a bakery. I don't know. They were having to top pies with fresh whipped cream, so they were having to like use the whisk. And I've tried to make that like viral whisk like coffee, and I tried to do it and I sucked. Plus, like, yeah, I was never able to make it. But using the whisk is actually like, if you've ever baked much, is a lot harder than you would assume. And so everyone was complaining about their forearms being tired, and you know, you have to whisk it really hard to like get it to a good whipped texture. Whipped like whipped cream. But yeah, you know, so no one really was like super held back by that part of it. Like everyone kind of got through it for the most part. And then when they had to take the pies in and place them on the table, there were people throwing pies at them, so potentially could have knocked someone's pie off. It didn't. It would have been funny if it did, but like I'm sure devastating to those people, but it didn't. But I want to say, yeah, it was Riley and Madison went up to Hung and Chi and like told them like, oh, like they're gonna throw pies at you when you try to take your pie in. So kind of like prepared them for that, which is cool because you got to see their little alliance in the works still in this episode. So that was cool. It's still intact. And then they had to move on to the next part, and it was carnival games. And they had to get through three different carnival games to move on. And some people really struggled. Like Riley and Madison actually were in first, and like I was scared like the next team was gonna come and pass them, and it wasn't looking good, or the edit made it look like it wasn't looking good. I was like getting nervous. Like I knew they weren't gonna be eliminated most likely. That's like not the vibes I got, but like I was like, pick up the pace, let's go, like, oh, you know. And they did get through it, and Hung and Chi, like, they went through it. They're just, it's like, what did Leo and Alana said, like, they're just made out of like fairy dust and whatever. Like and I'm just jealous. Like, no, I'm jealous too. That's why they're my winner pick. Like they're just good at everything, and they're so cute together, and like I just love them. They're so cute, but they're so good, and like I love watching them work together and get through it. And so some people really struggle to find the carnival area, like Michelle and Victoria and the blonde girls. I always forget their name. I know one is Haley, Kaylin and Haley, I think. And it was like neck and neck from the way the edit made it look, and you were just like, who's gonna get there? And then like the blonde girls got there first, and they knocked through it pretty good. And then Michelle and Victoria got there, and honestly, like I was surprised because Michelle is like a little bit more negative most of the time, and she was, you know, the one driving stick and struggling just to get to where the carnival games are, to find that area. And she was starting to, you know, like lose it, which I would have easily lost it. But she held together. She's like, you know, don't give up. Like, you never know. And she's like focused, and she got through it from the edit, at least. Like, she got through it at a decent time. She was faster than some people. And like, she just didn't, like, I think she had like a good inkling that they probably were going to be last, but like, she wasn't going to give up. And I thought that was really awesome, because I always kind of like so far have viewed her as negative, to see her be so positive in like a negative situation was like, it was cool, you know? It was cool. It was like she's trying to like cheer her sister up and like just keep the vibes good, and like it was cute. We love to see it. But unfortunately, Michelle and Victoria were eliminated. They were last, and it was an elimination round. And then in first was Riley and Madison. They pulled through. They did not crack under the pressure of like finally getting first in a leg. I think the top three. So then the second was Hung and Chi, and then Leo and Alana. And then it's like, you know, the second to last was the blondes. I want to say Kaylin and Haley. And then, yeah, Victoria and Michelle were eliminated. And it was cute, though, because at the end, they're like, we're actually friends now. And I was like, I don't have a sister. I have a brother, but we don't get along either. Shout out to Nick. You know, love him to death. I would freaking kill someone for him. But, like, you know, sometimes siblings aren't that close. But obviously, also for us, like, we're different sexes. So I think sometimes there can be more of a divide. Like, but it was cute. Like, they were sisters, and you know, sisters are supposed to have like a bond, and like they didn't get along at first, and then by the end of their journey on The Amazing Race, they said like, we really are best friends now. And I was like, okay, cheesy, but they kind of like got me, because then it was Michelle that was like, so when I say love you, she actually says love you too. And like I was like, oh, I mean, maybe it's like because I don't get along with my siblings super well, or like because I have kids and I would love for my kids to get along super well, that it was just like, oh, my heart. But yeah, that was this week's episode. It was good. It did have a lot of drama in it. I would say not as much as the past two, but it was still like top notch, great episode. I am still like living for The Amazing Race so far in this season, and Scotty will be back this next time we talk about it. We also are going to be talking more about the Big Brother Canada season that we've been watching. It's just, you know, sometimes life gets a little busy, but we'll be back. And you already know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe.